Maybe this was working. Bloody hell. Hi guys. Classic darts class tech mess up at the start, because that's taken me forever to get going. Can you hear me on this? Hope so. Let's check that it's even going. Oh, flipping heck. Right. Here we go. Hello guys. Hello people who are watching. I'm sorry if you went to look on another one, but I'm here now. Bit of a nightmare. Hi Mark, you alright? You can hear okay? Yeah. Again, I tried to be clever and use a different mic, and I really shouldn't be trying to be clever at these. I should just do them as basic as I can, really. This is the first throw I have had since the 23rd of December. So I thought I'd just come out and loosen the arm up and have a chat with everyone and see how you guys all are, how your Christmases were, and what you thought of the darts today and last night. Fearabush just subscribed. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. You are a star. So, Mensa and Gary Anderson seems to be the topic of conversation at the moment. What did everybody think of that last night? That was 140. I don't know how well you can see it on the stream because I've changed the cameras around. So I'm using the worst camera on the board and putting the better one on me because there's been some problems with Sky and I get lag at the best of times. So I thought better that you can see and hear what I'm doing. You watch the darts referee, and that's what he calls you, sir. I went to a bit of a posh school. It's a bit of a Hogwarts, so I'm used to calling everyone sir. Stephen, are you okay, mate? The setup I've got in here has gone even more low tech, as I had a second screen that I was watching everyone's comments and stuff on. So now I'm literally just informed. Yeah, not bad considering I'm for home for a few days. You can see them going in the right part of the board as well. Gutted for Edgar, who lost to an informed Sulovic, and see what rubbish he threw last night. I found it so engaging. I get why Gary Anderson was annoyed by it. I really do. But at the same time, if you play a lot of amateur darts, it happens all the time. I've seen people try all sorts of stuff far worse than that. Maybe I should take a couple of days break every now and again. I seem to be hitting the treble 21. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Jim, we had a chat about that on Twitter last night. I've played games before, Super League competitions, even little Friday night things. The one I always remember. So if you guys ever end up playing me in a competition, I go for a fist bump because I was playing really well. The guy had been watching me play other people's games, and we went to shake hands at the start, and he crushed my hand. Like, he knew exactly what he was doing, and it just completely threw me off. And I just thought, oh, that got in my head a little bit. So I just go for the fist bump now. So Mensa going to a different table and playing slowly. I think, oh, Gary, you sort of got to have a bit thicker skin than that. You're playing for, I mean, what were they playing for last night? Basically 15 grand. Did I get any new darts equipment for Christmas, Phil? I don't know if you follow me on Twitter. The darts equipment I got for Christmas, my wife got me a Tacoma darts case, which is really smart. Oh dear, that's rubbish. My sister, who I didn't even know knew I had a channel, had got my logo and got them put onto some flights and some stems, which is really nice of it, which is pretty cool, but nothing major. Any tips for a new player? I'm using 22 gram darts and some of them fly too high during the throw. What should I look out for during my throws? If they're too light and you're throwing high, I don't want this to sound obvious, but you've got to have a heavier dart. I mean, my throw is a loopy throw. If I use a light dart, I literally can't get the darts to hang low enough to get enough trajectory to land the ball and stay in there. So I had a set of 20-gram Simon Whitlocks years ago when you had the gold darts, and I couldn't get them to stay in the board. I had to throw them really hard like he does, or add a bit of weight. So I just add a bit of weight. So I'm not going to practice anything in particular tonight. I just want to come and have a little bit of a chat and catch up with everyone. High darts is an early release. Yeah. It's really hot. Mark's spot on. When you're talking about releases and things like that, it's really difficult to get right and convey without speaking to somebody face to face. So I know Mark. Love Darts. He went to a private coaching session with Wayne Mardle, who is off the telly, and that's what you need when you're talking about those finer bits of your throw. He's not wrong. But I had somebody direct message me and ask me like when they should be releasing the dart. If you're thinking about that, then you've got the brain scramblies already. It should be natural when you let go. Those are sort of the fine tuning bits that you learn a bit further down the line. You know when you let go like that, you let go of one with a late release. Oh, another Mark. How are you, Mark? Mark Brown. I'm using 21-gram Cadbury's. Do you know what? I like the Cadbury's. The Cadbury's are quite like the old. I've got them here somewhere. Monk's box of cheap tat. Oh no, they're in here. The Cadbury's weren't too dissimilar to the old Harrow torpedoes that I used for years and years. I really like the look of those. Yeah, you need to know about the apex of the throw. That's harder to explain. Try to show that, maybe, Bryn. No pressure, Mark. Yeah, it's a hard thing to put across, especially on a live stream. Like I'm literally thinking about it as I'm doing it. But it looks to most people when I'm holding the dart sort of like that. Ryan Searle does that, Go and Price does it. And it makes you think that when you let go of the dart, that the point is facing down as well, but it's not. When you're letting go, I'm pulling the dart back, but when I'm pulling it back and releasing, the dart at that point, it's like that. It's almost facing towards double top. And that's just to let the natural arc of the dart go in. And that's why your darts will stand up on the board like that. And then once you've got them stood up, you can start smashing them into markers and grouping a bit better. Who do I have for the title against apart from MVG? Do you know what? I piled in on MVG. I've not done much gambling actually recently, but I got him at just under 4-1 before the Players' Championships, just because it's a silly price for Michael Van Gerwen. And he's it's a silly price. I can't see anyone else. I thought Wade had a really good chance this year, the way it was opening up. Apart from MVG, obviously I'm a big Ryan Searle fan, and that quarter is now wide open. There's it's Searle, Ratajski, Bunting, and someone else. One of those four are going to be a semi-finalist. Oliver Furnival just hit a 180. Oh, have you just hit 180? If so, well done, mate. If you're saying that to me, I'll try. Oh, no, not going to do it like that. Life's not all about the 180s. I'm not the biggest 180 hitter in the world, but I do that a lot. Just put 2 on the wire and smash the third one in. Tons will win you a lot of games. Hi, everyone. Hi, Christian. You okay, mate? I see him a lot. Clemens, yeah, you're right, Shane. Clemens is the other one. He is decent. He's one of those that can have an off day. This is why, as a Ryan Searle fan, him drawing Bunting was a great one because Wade is so consistent, 95, 96 average. Whereas Bunting can smash in 110 average, and if he does that, I'm sure Ryan will be happy. But he also knows he might face Bunting throwing an 86, and if he does, then what a chance to get another big payday. The darts landing the board with the flights leaning to the right and the point to the left. What am I doing wrong? With the flights leaning to the right, the points to the left, it sounds like you might be throwing across your body. If you throw, it's hard to show on the camera because the camera I've got is coming in from the left-hand side. So if you're throwing across your body, that natural angle is going to create that angle of the dart in the board. What you might want to try and do is, if you're standing to the right, or even if your body position is standing to the right and you're throwing across yourself, is turn yourself, try and do it to the camera. So you're probably throwing sort of almost across yourself. Whereas what you want to be doing is lining up and throwing straight like that. Now, if they're still going that way, then what you're probably doing is dragging your top finger off of the dart instead of releasing at the top. So if you're doing that, you're pulling the dart down and it's coming out. It's really hard to explain. And it's coming out sort of like that. And then when it comes out like that and that flick happens, it travels the board and sticks in like that. So it's either working on a more precise release, so literally that instead of rolling the top of your finger off, or it's that you're throwing across yourself. And if you're throwing across yourself, just twist your torso in, then they go in a bit straighter like that. This is me trying to throw really straight on. Boardman, do I fancy Q School? Boardman, they're my cousins, the Boardmans. I doubt that you're any relation, Paul. I always fancy Q School. There's a couple of reasons why I've never been / I'm not going this year. First one's normally financial. However, this year there was a plan between a few of us who play Super League to save up a bit of money and go up just for the weekend and just for the experience. I know I wouldn't necessarily get anywhere, and I've said it a few times. If the challenge tour wasn't all so, I'm not going to get very far down. If the challenge tour wasn't so focused on, or all darts really, on the north of the country, like Milton Keynes is about as far south as you can get, then I'd give it a go. But if I went up to the challenge tour, I'm not going to win any challenge tour events. If they get half decent, then like 50 quid, 100 quid, but I've got to travel 300 miles to stay in a hotel. So I think the European players who travel over to do it, respect to them. This year, I did think about going. They've been playing quite nicely, and I thought I might make some good videos, but I wouldn't want to go up without any proper match practice. So I do get a bit nervous sometimes. So I'm just reading your messages. Merv's playing really well. Yeah. If Merv keeps his head against Price, because Price will put him off, and will do it on purpose. Mervyn can beat anyone. He's so good. His scoring is unbelievable when he's on it. Just hit 144 checkouts there. Nice. Which way did you go? 144 is one of those ones you've got a few options. Ooh, that's horrible, man. Your opinion on one-piece flight shafts? Really good, really expensive. I'm a bit tight with money. If you can afford them, do it. If you can't afford to keep replacing them if they get damaged, then invest in one of these for £5, and they hole punch your flight, and they grip them much firmer in the dart, and it makes it like a bit of a one piece. So, MVG and Cullen tonight. That has such potential, that game. I'm looking forward to that one. Who else is on tonight? I know that one off the top of my head. I should check these things before I go on the stream. Oh, that's rubbish. I'm going to have to watch back some of these at some point because I know it's not overly brilliant. I'm trying to concentrate on reading questions and talk to people, but the ones I'm hitting recently are killing me. And normally, if I do anything wrong, we're in the fives. But oof. Oh, that's rubbish. Ones again. So many 81s. Sam Palmer. Give him abuse in the chat. Nearly as good as him. Sam. Shall I be nice to you, Sam? Shall I tell everyone who you are? And shall I give you a glowing references? How well you played the second half of our Super League season? Hanging in 23, 24, 25 averages. Or when you used to bottle it every week. Sam Palmer in the chat there is the guy who... I still have your board now. Sam kindly lent me his treble trainer, and I did a video on that, which actually got a few views. But yeah, Sam lent me that. Good player. Could be better. Better golfer than a dart player. Can I explain what you're doing wrong when the flight is leaning to the left and the point to the right? Yeah, pretty much. As I just said, it's either you're rolling your finger off the top of the dart, so as you're rolling it down, it's just pulling the dart, and as it pulls the dart away, you're pulling down the right-hand side of the barrel, and it's just making it go into the board and land like that, or you're throwing across yourself. So you've either got to angle yourself more to the centre of the board and throw from, if you're right-handed, across to the left. But I think the majority of people that do that, it's because they're rolling the finger off the top of the dart. Hey Gav, you okay? Chizzy versus Noppy. Oh yeah, Clemens Ratasky. MVG Cullen. Chizzy versus Nopper. I like what's he called? Dan Dawson put on earlier. The battle of the crap nicknames. Chizzy versus Noppy. Have I registered for Madge yet? Yeah, I'm not yet, but I will do. I think, Jim, if you play Super League darts, you're going to have to. I think that they are pretty much lined up to take over the Super League system, and it will be like paying your reg fees, so you probably just have to sign up that way. So it will be. But like you say, not until it all picks up again. Easily a better golfer. Yeah, maybe. You were playing some good darts towards the end of the season, Sam. If you could pick any player from any era to play, who would it be? Good question. Because the obvious ones are probably Taylor, Bristow, Lowe, Jockey Wilson. Because you never know, I might end up playing one of the others at an exhibition coming up. But the one who's a real old one and someone you might have heard of, but you want to go and have a look at, is a bloke called Alan Evans. He was sort of like the Chizzy of his day. He could score so well. He wanted to run the doubles, but man, he was the one that when darts first kicked off, was just hitting 180s for fun. Yeah, I can tell it's due to a bad release for me. But yeah, it's pretty much release. If they don't go into the board dead straight and sit up, it's the release. Because you'll notice there's not really any pros that sort of kick off to the side when they go in the board. Because the flight should do all the work. If you release it half decent, then the flight should do the work and take it into the board pretty straight. So I know what standard Sam Palmer plays. What about the rest of you? What sort of level of darts do you guys play? Are you just at home players? Are you playing in a pub team? Are you playing Super League? Playing county? Pro Tour? had Colin Osborne follow me on Twitter, so he was just about the most high-profile darts player that I have on there. And Edgar, of course. Current world number 57, I think. Oh, that's rubbish. Oh, that's really rubbish. 26. Oh, I come out rubbish now. So yeah, normally I make sure I have a structured practice, but just having a little throw about. Oh, gotta get these ones out of my system. Playing at home, looking to pay visit to Q School 2022. Yeah, shame. Yeah, every time Q School rocks around, it gets like September. I think, oh, not this year. Maybe next year I can convince some mates to go up there just for the experience. You might win a couple of games. There's some bad players, some all right players. Might get a little run. You're never expecting to actually win a card, but you look at someone like Aaron Beanie. Yeah, I know it's a bit of a hiding to nothing, but he got a tour card with an 83 average. And something I see a lot of people ask is, what do I need to average to go to Q School? Matt Edgar did a great video on this, and it's not about what you average, it's about the visits. Because the difference between a 16 dart leg and an 18 dart leg is, oh, I think that in my head, 10 points in an average, 3 a dart. But it doesn't really matter if you take it out in that visit. So if you can hold your throw in 18, it doesn't really matter if you can hold it in 16. What's 16? I'm losing my mind. 16 is a 93, whereas a 18 is an 83. So it's not about the averages, it's about how many visits does it take you to check out regularly. And if you've got the ability to hit 15 against the throw every now and again, you can hit a 18 very regularly. You know somebody's got to average 100 in a leg to beat you. And I think if you can hit regular 18 darters, even if they're with the 18th dart every time, I think it's worth you having a go. Ross, are you okay, mate? Clash of the Tungsten. Sorry, you guys have been replying. Just pub for me, good game, around 75. Yeah, bad game 6. Do you know, Paul, that's my standard. If I play really well, I can push that 75, 80, but anything above, well, for me, 22 is my minimum in Super League. So what's that? That's a 66. If I drop below that at the minute, I wouldn't be, well, hey, Robin Hood, I wouldn't be massively happy. But that's sort of your limit. To stay in our Super League team, you can't really be averaging less than 20 ever. Are you going to get on the knacker and play subs? Yes, I am. But if you tried to see the start of the stream, you realise how bad I am at tech. So I might have to get old Rossi boy from Clash of the Tungsten to help me out with picking that up, because if I tried to do that, it would be ridiculous. Sitting around at 14 to 19. Yeah, but do you know what? That if you were averaging 19, the difference is 1 dart. So if you are checking out in 24 darts, that's a 60 average, so you're 20 per dart. You're just one more visit beyond that, Shane. So that's your first thing, is to regularly just get inside those 24 darts. And once you do that, you go, right, now it's time to get inside those 21 darts. And you end up getting to a position where those 21 dart legs, I've thrown for a dart, 21 dart leg, thinking, God, I played rubbish there. And that's a 70 average. And I think, well, actually, if I finish the Super League season with a 70 average overall, I've not had a bad year at all. Curtis in the house, how are you going? Curtis, the owner of the silkiest throw in internet darts. I wish I had Curtis's throw. Try and emulate a bit of it now if I can. Nah. So Curtis is playing in the GDL, I think. Is anyone else playing in the GDL? It looks really good. Again, I've not ventured into the world of online darts yet, but GDL looks like something that if we get locked down again, I might think about it. Hey, Sean, you okay, mate? Yeah, Jim, I knew you used to play some county stuff. Yeah, slightly better player now. That's a bit like me. I'm probably throwing the best darts I've ever thrown since lockdown. I've always been a big practicer. I say that, the best darts I've ever thrown, and he's just saved it a little bit. Lockdown just gave everyone a bit of a chance to practice. Paul P.A. Toxic, how are you, man? You okay? Yeah, my smooth throw doesn't hit me a winning double. No, but you score like the clappers, mate. You can always work on your doubles. But if you've got an issue like me at the minute, going into the ones, or fives even, then you're going to get a shot at a double. So what does everyone play on? Do they play Knacker, Lie Darts? They just play against their phone on the app? Knacker's always been the one I've used. Yeah, a lot of 140s, a lot of 100s, 96s. Never really smashing the 180s. That should be 100 there. Oh, no good. What's everyone's dart nickname? That's a great shout. I don't have a dart nickname. I never have. And I can't go to a flipping tournament with darts class on my back. That would look a bit ridiculous. That hurts a bit when you lose in the first round. Oh, ooh, throwing rubbish now. Long sleeves. Dave, how are you? Your nickname is Flash. Yeah, throw super fast. I'm glad that's why they call you Flash. There's another reason why they might call you Flash that's not as nice as that. Oh, these ones. Oh. So, after Sulovic last night, it did get me thinking about, and if you guys missed the start of the stream, I was talking about gamesmanship that I've experienced before. Hey, 180. What's having a chat on the stream? There you go. That's the first one on the stream. But yeah, as I was saying, if you guys can let me know what the most outrageous bit of gamesmanship you've ever seen or encountered in a match, I'd be interested to know because I think it's worse than someone using your table. Oh. Yeah. Thank you, Stephen. Someone noticed it. What darts do I play with? I play with Robert Thornton, 24 grams. They are not his current ones. These are the ones he was using 6 or 7 years ago. Do I have a specific mindset when playing darts? Do you know? That's an excellent question and one that I'm going to do a video on. But since you guys have bothered to come and join me at a live stream, I'll tell you exactly how I have a mindset of competitive darts that works for me and gets rid of nerves. It's long-winded. But this is something, for those of you that don't know, I work at a professional cricket club. And nerves used to be a really, really bad part of my game. So I got to talking to some guys who played international cricket, some guys who are used to playing in front of, 10, 15,000 people, trying to nail their skills whilst you've got Sky TV cameras on you. And in comparison to that, then it's not going to be as bad throwing a dart. But until you get up on an ocky and play competitively, I say this to people playing in the bedroom all the time, and they can say, "Oh, I hit this, I hit that." I say, you get on there and you try and throw a dart in a pub, even with 2 people watching, you get the nerves. So I'm just going to read some of these comments, and I'll come back to that long story. Yeah, table wasn't a big issue. He was just trying to look for a reason to get annoyed. They are the Red Dragon Rob Thornton darts, yeah. So on a double for match, 2-0 up, and the guy started coughing. Yeah. I tell you what, I haven't seen the new Thorntons come out today. No, I'll have a look at them. I'm really bad for this one, and I hate myself for it. I didn't click my darts, but I will sort of roll them around in my hand a little bit behind someone. Always coughing when on a double. Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to say I cheat. I didn't stand behind people clicking together, but I sort of will just sort of reposition them in my hand and then make a little bit of a clang. Anyway, what was I saying? What's my mindset when I play darts? So my mindset with darts starts the night before. So I always use this with cricket, with everything else, and this is what the cricketers told me to do. So don't go heavy on drinking, anything like that. Don't feel rough the next day. The next day, I'm thinking about it all day. I'm thinking about it as soon as I get up in the morning. I'm thinking about where I should conserve my energy. I'm thinking when I should have caffeine. When I need to go to the toilet. It's unbelievable the stuff I think about. But the main thing is leaving myself time to prepare. I don't ever want to be rushed before I'm playing darts. So this is what happens. Our Super League draw happens at 7 o'clock. First game starts at 7:30. I am in the pub at 4. Before I go to the pub at 2 o'clock at home, I'll throw darts, really loosen my shoulder up, have a real good practice session, and I will leave on a high. I'll leave on a 140 or a 180, and I take the darts out of the board and go to the pub. That way, I'm buzzing about it, and when I get down to the pub, where everyone else is getting ready to play, I want to get straight back on the practice board. I don't want to start smashing drinks back. Well, I do, but I want to do that whilst practicing in a confident frame of mind. Then there are a couple of tricks that I got taught by the cricketers. One of them is the positive mindset bordering on arrogance. No matter who you're playing, I mean, don't be a dick to them, but you go up there not thinking you can win, but knowing. So yeah, I'm going to smash him. I've played people who are flipping, best players in Devon, captains and county stuff, and people go, "Oh, that's tough draw, whatever." I go, "I'm going to smash him. Doesn't matter." And people look at me like, "What?" And I'll lose. But if I got there thinking I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose. I try and get into my opponent a little bit on the practice board before. Nothing verbal, I just like to practice alongside them. I'm a good practicer, so when I'm just standing having a pint, I can hit through 140s. I want them to see that. I want them to go, "Oh, this isn't going to be an easy game." And then most importantly, when I play, I try and enjoy it. I cancel out all peripheral noise. I see why people wear headphones. Obviously, you can't do that in the pub. But it's about focusing on the dartboard. And the way I do that is a little trick that Peter Wright said, and that's focusing on the little holes that the darts have left in the board previously. If you can zone in on that and be in your own little world, not admonish yourself when you hit a bad shot, know what you're going for, and then, I should have been another one. then I think you're going to be all right. It's a complex thing, but mainly it's habit. It's doing the same thing every time you play darts, and it's having so much confidence in your own ability that it borders on arrogance. I wasn't talking about that. I'm hitting all sorts now. Mark Yates, how are you? Ooh, that's rubbish. And also, one of the ways I deal with mindset in darts is playing lots of it. If the amount of games I win by rocking up, especially in like friendly leagues, and people draw my name and they go, "Oh, bloody hell, I'm not going to win tonight, am I? Oh, I'm buying a drink already." I'll beat them. I don't have to try. I know that they've talked themselves out of it. So never ever talk yourself out of the game, no matter who you're playing. If you said to me, Bryn, you're going to go and play a leg against MVG, oh, missed another one. You're going to play a leg against MVG. Obviously, deep down, I think I'm going to lose this. But at the same time, I think I've hit loads of 15 dart legs. I've hit loads of 12 dart legs. You never know. If I pull one out of the bag here and hit a 15 dart, I could win a leg against them. What am I using now? These are Robert Thornton's, 24 grams. I'm using short stems now. And then 100 micron flight that I think are Red Dragon. I'm playing really well today. Yeah, they're not going bad actually. After having a little break, and sometimes just having a chat whilst throwing can sort of put you off over concentrating, so you can just sort of get in a bit of a rhythm and just hit dance. The sound goes a bit away, yeah. It does, Dave. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's just because I'm having to use the microphone on my laptop because I'm bad at technology. So you'll hear me better from here. Oh, I'm hitting a treble every visit though. What's the best doubles practice game? Right, 1-2-1. 1-2-1. 1-2-1 teaches you a bit of scoring, but mostly it's set-up play. It puts pressure on you hitting the doubles. If you don't hit the doubles in 1-2-1, you get punished and have to go back to the start. And any practice game that replicates that need to hit the double last dart in hand or something bad will happen. It's hard to replicate the pressure of losing a leg when you're playing on your own. 1-2-1 is good for that. So if you don't know how to play that, there is a video on my channel about playing 1-2-1. I think it's called The Must Know Practice Game. So go and check that one out. Oh, that was a rubbish last dart. Stems look cool. Yeah, they're just transparent ones. Best beginners game. Yeah, around the clock is fine. That at least teaches you your numbers, where everything is. When you're a real beginner, that's the first thing you got to do. The last thing you want to do is throw a good dart and then go, "Oh, what double four? Where's the four?" So that one sort of helps you. Beginner's game. I've got a game that is one of my worst videos, but it's got the second most views, called How to Throw Darts Straight, a practice game. And in that, we do a game called Tidy. And all you do in Tidy is it teaches you to hit inside that V to start on, so the 5s, the 1s, and the 20s. So don't worry about not hitting treble 20s. If you hit 1-1-1, that's a great start for a beginner. And then it's about hitting just 3 big 20s. 62 or 81 is fine. But sometimes 3 big 20s does the job just as well. And you'd be amazed the amount of shots at W you get if you just average 60, 59 in a leg. So I would say to people, don't expect the world when starting. But if you can just regularly hit 3 big singles, not like that, you're going to do all right. Have I ever thought about going to Q school, Chizzy? Yeah, only for the fun of it. Most people at the dev tour do 1-2-1 with each other on practice boards. Yeah, it's so widely used, Zach. Nice to see you, Zach. I saw you comment earlier, but the comments just went and I missed it. I don't know anyone who plays a good standard darts that doesn't just play 1-2-1 when they are practicing before Super League game competitions. So if you're going to join a team as well, and you don't have to play 1-2-1, I suggest you learn it. I know the board, but less than a 40 average generally. That can be a combination of things. It's hard to tell without seeing your throw. Board management is huge. So yeah, it's hard to tell really how you can improve without seeing your throw. If you know the way you run your board, it's a matter of time and then just knocking out any kinks in your technique. My Jacob, my darts are 24 grams. I am a fan of heavier darts because I have a bit of a floaty throw. I throw a bit of, it looks like I throw hard, but there's a arc to my throw. So obviously when it's arcing like that, I need enough weight to get them to stay in. Yeah, Dean, hitting doubles is the hardest bit, and that is the key. This is why people worry about averages. If I come to the board and I've thrown 15 darts and I have 3 at tops, this is why averages is a bit of a lie. If I hit that first dart, I've averaged 93 in that leg. If I hit it last dart, I've averaged 83. But I don't care. As long as I've taken out those 3 and the next person doesn't get a shot, but it will kill your average. This is why you see if you play an amazing player, you'll get a better average, and then you'll be lying to yourself, saying, "Oh, I played really well there, and I still lost." And the reality is, it's probably you've just scored all game and not really had a shot at a double. Oh, that's a horrible release. Let's go ball. Oh wow, that's a bullseye. Should try the Ryan Searles 32 grams. Well, lucky enough to play with his previous darts when we went to the competition. So he's from my neck of the woods, and he's always used real heavy darts. They feel weird. Yeah, Curtis nailed it in one. Whenever somebody says to me, "What do you need to average for Super League?" I say, "It's not about your average. It's your minimum is 24 darts. If you can't check out 24 darts every time, you're going to struggle. That's a 20 average. But if you tell someone a 20 average, they might average 12 one leg and still get it up to 20 average. But in reality, if you want to compete, that's your point, and then just build up every step of the way. You can just add 3 on that. So at the moment, my target's just 18. And if I don't take it out in 18 darts, I'll get annoyed at myself and hit like a 20 dart leg and be annoyed at it. And then I think, oh, if I hit a 25 in Super League, a 25 average, with 20 dart legs, 4 of them in a row, be chuffed. Yeah. Always better judging on how many darts it takes, not what your average is. Played some really good players before, and I used to fall into that trap of going, "Oh, well, he had a 28 average and I had a 25. I played really well there." And they go, "Well, yeah, the 2 legs you won were good, but then you're just hitting 60, 60, 60. Oh, yeah. Hit the bullseye. All right. I hit it in 3. Oh, that was rubbish. Oh, I won't hit it in 3. This is not coming out well. I've got to carry on going because they were awful. When you just aim at treble 20 all day, you lose your arm around the board. Oh, that's rubbish. 25. Oh, that is really bad. One bullseye, flipping out. Obviously can't do it. Right, I'm going to have to go inside in a minute, or else my wife is going to kill me. But let's just finish with this bullseye. Jeez, man. Too much messing around. Treble 20. Right, 3 more. Hey, there it is. Right, that'll do me for a while, guys. I might see you again tomorrow night. So just having a bit of a throw tonight, but the stream was due to start earlier, so I'm going to probably get told off now for not helping. So I am just going to go back in the house, but enjoy the